Yes, finally. This technology is just vexing us, man.
Hey, man, since when?
Oh, I cannot keep up no more because it's just changing every second, man.
Wow. But anyway, the good thing is we're here now. We
We
won.
are here now, and I hope everybody else can hear us, Mr. Anderson. I hope you can hear us because my other hearing device just shut for some reason. I have no idea. But anyway, welcome. I am so super excited to be hanging out with the three-time no not nominee, three-time number one on the Top 10 Gospel Chat Show.
It's been great, eh? It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
I can imagine the excitement, yo.
Man, tell me about it. I mean, from nothing to something. It's just amazing. You
Huh?
think it's done and then nothing is coming up and then it just shoots from there. I mean, hey, it's just happening, eh?
From zero to hero. I like that. No, I love it.
Tell
I
me
love it.
about
I
it.
love it. So, just for
Yeah.
introductions, I am just going to be brief in our introductions, and then you end up telling our listeners just to keep them up to speed to on who you are, where you're from, where you're based, because definitely you're from Zimbabwe. But then again, so right about now, I am going to be introducing you to our three-time number one gospel chat show artist, Mr. Maxie. Yo, I cannot believe this because you know what? It's one thing you would do when you're actually behind the mic and looking at the music and listening, but wow, this person is actually doing amazing. And also having backup from a whole lot of people. Actually, you know what? We are here to support you. I can imagine the excitement, man.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
No,
It
that
is.
is,
It is
I,
completely.
I am glad that we get to chill and
Yeah.
and that I get to be the one making the noise with you right here today. So
The
with
feeling
that,
is mutual, the feeling is just mutual. I was waiting for this thing. I was gonna hunt you down for this. When are we doing this?
are you serious? For some reason, I was like, this doesn't make sense. How come we haven't interviewed Maxie? That's what I was thinking. I was like, how come we haven't interviewed Maxie? We need to chill with Maxie because you're doing amazing, and we need to learn and know more about you, really. So, would you mind just bring our listeners up to speed on who you are, where you're based at the moment, and what you do?
My name is Maxie, as you said. Maxi Serapot. Serapot is the name of the brand, not the band, the brand itself, Serapot. Yeah. And I'm a jazz slash gospel Afrofusion artist. And I'm based in South Africa.
Mhm.
I play guitars. I compose my own music. I write my own music. And yeah, I'm online, Maxi Serapot everywhere, Maxi, and you'd find me. And Yende is the song that's currently doing things on Out of Five at radio. And then also, I'm proud to announce that probably this is the first time I'm going to announce it live and that it's now on Trace as well. We made it on Trace.
Oh
Yeah,
my
the video is on Trace.
God.
So, I mean, things have just been happening. Imagine after being the three-time number one
Wow.
on the station for 3 consecutive weeks. And then suddenly Trey said, Hallelujah, we want you in as well. And then it's in.
Wow. Look
It's
at
happening, man.
God. Look at
God
God.
is
Like,
good.
really,
God is good.
sometimes when you least expect it, because one thing I've noticed, and hence the reason why I even host like gospel for a good 3 hours. People take gospel for granted. They think, oh, yeah,
That's true.
it's a little bit too much. But no, we need to listen to the power
That's
of the
true.
lyrics, and,
Yeah.
making it to trace. My good Lord. I am proud of you. I'm excited and congratulations.
God is doing things. I mean, all the glory belongs to Him. All the glory belongs to Him. I was looking at it and I'm thinking, this thing, because considering when I did the song and I was
Mm.
hesitating and putting it out there, and then suddenly I'm like, let me just do it now. Let me just let
Mm.
it go and let it do what it has to do. And then now it's doing all of those things. And
Mhm.
it's opening doors. I'm now a presenter on a certain show again, and things are just happening, man. I yeah.
You tell us more about that when we get there. Hold up. Let's not throw all the bombs right now.
Woo!
In Bermuda, I can throw all the bombs right now.
No. You said I must stop with the bombs. You're just gonna throw them in at some point. So yeah, I'm
Okay.
waiting for you to okay, to
Okay,
throw them
okay.
in.
We will go on the bombs a little bit later, people. We will go on the bombs a little bit later. As you heard, I think you'd missed the bit that I was talking since I just got a call from our producer saying, "Good, oh, we can't hear you, but we can hear Max." But the thing is, there's a whole lot going on for this guy. There's a whole lot going on, and it's so exciting, even just to be sharing right here on After Five Radio. But having to be the three-time number one gospel artist, and now having something come up and something come up. I'm like, nah. Step by step. So please let us know, Kutujani, when did you start music for you to even be hesitant with this song? Is it your first song, or do you have more?
No, the journey is quite funny, you'll be surprised. I studied music professionally 2016. I was in Starbright, right? That show, the Zimbabwean show, Starbright. Right?
Are you serious?
I'm telling you, I was there.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from there. I learned a lot, medical boot camp and everything. And then I lost somewhere along the lines. Then, but that made me, it boosted my morale and my confidence. Then I started focusing more on being a live performing artist, right? So the whole time, this whole while, I've been playing like in a lot of places. I was on tour with a band called On Accord. It's a gospel band. We did the tour 2016 and 17.
Right.
And went back home. I did an album, right, with Mono Mkundo, the great Mono, the guitarist. Yeah. I did an album, recorded it by Studio Monody Studios, and then kept it in the bank again. And then, as soon as I moved to South Africa 2018, I told myself that this is time. I'm gonna really open up my wings, and I want to see how far I can fly. I'm not gonna stop myself anymore. I'm not gonna be just a guy in the background anymore. I want to do something for myself. So when I came to South Africa, my first year was pretty much a learning year. I got to be with great people, the likes of wow. When our Tasha Copes would come over, I'll be invited to come and play something.
What? Did you say Tasha Cobbs? Did I hear properly? Did you say Tasha Cobbs?
Yeah, when she could come over South Africa. So the church that I was in was a good ground because it exposed me to those kind of artists. Whenever they would come over, they would invite them over to the church. So I would get to meet them personally. I'd get to play with them as well. And I learned a lot. 2018 and 2019, I learned a lot. So by the end of 2018, I then said, I'm going to do this. I went in and then recorded and a lot of local artists over this side as well. I mean, we've been working with them as well. Wow. So yeah, the journey has been interesting.
Right. And the huddles, I bet you came across huddles as well because it doesn't come easy.
Trust me, it wasn't easy. Okay, like I can give you this for example. Coming from the setup, the Zim setup, cultural setup in the music industry, and then crossing over to South Africa. South Africa is I could say it's really up there in the game. You get the guys out here, they're really exposed to the real stuff. When they talk about recording, they're not talking about just doing it one stop and then at times it takes 55 studios, 19 producers. You move from there to there and listening sections and all that. We were used to just going in the studio, you just get to do your thing, the producer captures everything, and then that's it. So coming in here and then you get to be told you don't know what you're doing. Are you thinking, I don't know, yeah, there are people that are blunt out there.
But that's good though. That's good though to have those people because that's how you grow, right?
Yeah. Honestly, that's how you grow. So and then it kind of demotivates you at a moment, but then when you are in the right space, you take it as motivation. If they say I don't know what I'm doing, then that means I can know somehow. I can upgrade and then get to know what I'm doing. So I kept on pushing. I would ask people to help me do what they're doing and all that. And then that's when I realized that I had my own sound that I had to bring into the industry, right? And not try to do copy and paste. So the moment I realized that is the moment I began to actually do better because I wasn't trying to be them anymore. I was now doing me. And then they started loving the sound. They started loving my own sound. You get, and then
So how do you get to a point where you're saying, I am doing me? How do you get to realize this is a different sound, this is me? Because I feel like we live in a world where everybody's trying to imitate people. Majority of the people are trying to imitate because, oh yeah, just because Maxie did this way, I want to do it that way. Because I've seen a lot of people, come around and say, not come around really, they've tried to have a talk show, but if it's not your lane, it's not your lane, right? And then say a sound. How do you pick to say, this is my sound, or this is because I fail to understand music. That's the gift. But when I see people making music, and when you say writing, putting beats and vocals together, how do you do that? And then let alone say, okay, this is my sound. How do you get to that point for somebody who's listening? I just, okay, Maxie, how can I discover my sound? How did you discover your sound?
So there's a difference between imitating, coping, and learning from someone.
Okay.
So I've realized a lot of people are actually doing the imitating, but become a little version of that somebody else. But when you're learning from that person, it's like getting invitation from somebody, and then you're taking it into you. So the problem I had when I came over is because you look up to them, you start doing everything they do. I mean, on the dot, everything point to point. You really want to be like them. You want to do that, but there could never be anybody better than them because they're already a perfect version of them. So I started, instead of me doing what they're doing specifically, I started taking notes from what they do, learning from what they do. You get the techniques, the skill, you incorporate it with who you are. I already had a sound. The sound was, I just got back to how I fell in love with music, what made me realize that I love music. And then that's my sound. For me, that defined my moment because that's how I broke in. That's how I realized that this is music. This is what I am, right? So when I picked that up, I started adding the flesh to the skeleton, picking this and that. Everything I see on the way that I like or that I want, I take, I learn, I put it on. And I'm the type of person that if we're doing something, if I don't get it right, there's no sleeping.
And then you start beating yourself up and you're like, oh my gosh, this has to be perfect, perfectionist. I know that life. Please be careful not to burn out. Please don't don't burn out. Be careful.
I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. I mean, now it's different because now you not to say I've made it, but once you get to do something and then
my guy, you've made it. Me, I will cut you off and tell you you've made it. And it's not good because I made it. No, you've made it. I've actually made it because guess what? I am hanging out with you. Hey, I made it too.
Wow, that's great. Okay. Let's just say so for the moment. Okay. But when you look at doing something and then getting it accepted or getting it doing things out there, and like last night I was talking to somebody, I say to them, it's one thing getting an award, and then it's another thing getting to talk to somebody who will tell you that, you know what happened? I was down in my down moments. The most was happening to me. But I listened to your song and it got me back up. That moment there is worth more than any other award you could get. Not that we don't want the awards, we need them. But I'm saying that moment.
It's not what awards
you see, so that moment when you get to see that somebody is getting like emancipated or something is happening to their life because of what you're doing. I mean, that's gold. That's golden. That moment there is just
wow. This is so phenomenal, and I am, as the black people don't blush. I'm one of those that blush. Anyway, I am so excited right now. For those who are just tuning in, thank you so much for tuning into After Five Radio. You're tuned into Tough Love Giggles, hosted by yours truly, the hype lady, Miss ThandoAmy. And right about now, we're actually hanging out with the talented, phenomenal, multi-talented, actually, multi-talented. He's also a writer, producer, musician, and we're declaring it in Jesus' name right now, award winner. Because guess what? He's actually proving it right here on After Five Radio. Could you know he can do it? If he can do it 3 times in a row. Imagine when I got the music, then Amanda, you need to play this on radio. I'm like, who's this guy? He's gonna say, oh no, you need to listen to this guy. And when I listened to it, I was like, okay, I am putting it into the top 10 right here, right now. And you know, it was a given to say, you know, Pama nominees, it just kungoterera. I am not a musician to know sounds, but I listen to beats. I listen to, you know, when I enjoy something, I'm like, wow, this is going to be something, right? And look at where we're going. With that being said, let's walk towards the Trace mission. And then got to take my steps. So now, tell us about the excitement. Let's start with After Five Radio. I guess maybe After Five Radio. Was it the first opening, or was Trace the first opening?
Yeah. After Five was the first opening because I'm quite close to Coach Taff. I mean, right. that guy.
He is phenomenal. Shout out to you, Coach Taff.
Coach Taff will tell you, like, he would break down, he would tell you about Maxie, break it down and then bring it up again like a puzzle. He knows me. Right. So he's like to me, try this. Try this. And then, because when we were in Zim, at some point he was my manager. But most like my brother. I can't call him my manager because we're too close for that. And then he was like, try this, submit your music here. And then I'm like, are you sure I'm ready for this? You know, and then he's like, I'm telling you, I know you are ready for this. Try this. Your music. Then I submitted the music, and then within even days, I got a message and like, man, this music is good. We're gonna put it on. Like, I'm like, wow, okay, already. And so the first song that was really played was the one I did with Untitled Chapter.
Right. Yeah.
That one. That was the first song to be played on After Five.
Yeah.
And then people were like, oh, we want to hear more. And I'm like, okay, let me put it on the end. And then at the end overtook Chido. And suddenly, you know, those 2 songs are actually playing competition on After Five Radio. Yeah. And then after that, I then said, okay, fine. That pushed me to try and then submit music everywhere I can. Okay? Nice. And then I just told myself, grow big or go home. Do the big stations. Just submit it. Then I submitted on Trees. Then Trees, they responded, no, we're gonna do the verification process and all that. And then we will give you 5 working days. We'll reply after 5 working days. 5 working days were a month. 10 to 2 months. Then one day after ThandoAmy announced that I'm the 3-time winning whatever, and then I just got an email and they're like, dude, now your song is on. You've made it on Trace. Yeah, you're gonna be. I was shocked. It literally came after your message.
Wow. Look at alignment too. Look at alignment too. Speak about alignment, you know, because God lines up things. So I know sometimes we say, oh yeah, it's a coincidence. It's never a coincidence, right? Getting news day after day, or oh my gosh, how did this happen? No. And guess what you need to do? What you just said, letting it go. Letting it go, because guess what? It's not your gift. You know what? I want to use you as a vessel. And here you are, like you're saying, it's a shock on Trace, because people, I don't know how they look at gospel. They literally look at gospel as boring. And they got not on After Five Radio. We're definitely not going to make it boring, because there's such talented artists like you who have a different sound, where, you know, even when I see the votes, like 86% is Maxie, and the rest maybe 2, 3, 5. I'm like, no, help me understand. Joking, right? I'm telling you, if you want me to give you stats without showing the other names, I will show you. You know, there are times I'm like, Andy, I've never seen this on the record, After 5 radio. I get people getting, I don't want to kind of like a few votes. You can get maybe 30% for 5 people or whatever. But when it came to you, the first time you got into the top 10, it was around 70% or something there. I was like, and then Mangwe Ese of Vadziga to 10%, 3%, 1%. I'm like, nah, nope. I even took screenshots.
Wow.
I took screenshots. I sent this to Andy. I was like, Andy, this is unbelievable. And the new system that we have, at least it shows you the percentage before the votes, right? So when you see all of that, you're like, whew, Lord Jesus, where is this going? This may not be my music, but I get excited for you too. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Just so you know.
You know, just hearing that, I was thinking, you know, the votes just coming in, and then it's just one of those where the close shot, you just made it. I mean,
no.
by 2%.
By the way, like yours is a huge margin from number 2.
Jesus, this is amazing. I mean, shout out to everybody who's been voting and loving this song. I mean, I'm humbled, man. This is amazing.
All right. And those who are tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. We're actually chilling with the ever so multi-talented musical artist based in South Africa, who happens to be our number 1 on the Top 10 Gospel Chart show 3 times in a row. And you need to listen to the song, guys. And right now we're just learning Godozroni, having opened up a door, just letting go on everything that he was holding back on. Everything just started happening, and now you can go and listen to him and watch his video on Trace Kanawuti. Did they put the video or just the audio?
They say that it's going to start showing on anytime from this week. They sent a message last week. So I think it's 2 weeks grace period. Yeah. So anytime from now.
Okay. So guys, please do go and support our brother, because he's doing amazing, and this is just the beginning. With that being said, bomb number 3. I like that. Boom.
You're dropping them in, girl.
I'm dropping them. Come now. Well, you got to hang out with the crazy one. You got to hang out with the hype lady. This is me.
We gotta do it the way, man. Let's just share the energy. I'm loving this as well. I'm loving it. Wow. The third one. So I'm just chilling home one day. There's this guy called they call him DJ Cypher.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of
doing
him.
Amazing things with. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You've heard the name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's doing amazing things around here with artists both from Zim and local artists and international artists as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the one who is doing stuff with Pop 10 recently. I saw them 2 days ago when Pop 10 flew into South Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I think he's running promotions with them. Something is coming up with Pop 10 and he's behind it.
Wow.
And
can't wait for that.
we get to chill every now and then he approaches me one day. He's like, I want you to come to the radio for an interview. Mm-hmm. Like, what an interview? Yes, let's do this. I go there, we do an interview. Then soon after the interview, he's like, I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but I think you can score on being a presenter. Me, I mean, I'm just good behind the guitar and the mic. I'm too shy to be a presenter and stuff like that. He's like, no. Actually, I'm actually telling you that you now have a show that you're going to be presenting.
Wow.
You are going to handle this baby like it's yours. I'm only going to be here to give you a team to work with, but everything else is in your hands.
It's all up to you. Oh yeah, absolutely. Radio is partnership, right? It's partnership, and you have your own show.
You get what I'm saying? And then I was amazed. I didn't know how to even think about it. And then he said to me, I know you've got something in the bag. Now, think about it. When I was in Zim, I tried this 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Soon after Starbright, 16, soon after Starbright. Because I realized when we were in the show, Starbright show, it's one thing to promote artists, like to pick up talent. But it's another thing to take a person as they are and not put them in a competition and just give them access to something. I realized that the amount of talent that was there the year I was there was amazing. And for you to put them in a competition, it's beautiful. I don't want to take anything away from that. But there's this thing that, what if you tell somebody who was great, but not greater than this person, or not better than this person in your own lane, but they are supposed to be great at that moment in their own lane as well? What if you telling them that you didn't make it actually put them down?
That's true. That's true. And
What
people
if
easily
you
give
teach
up.
them and
People
tell
easily
them?
give up
Yeah.
then, right?
Exactly. What about taking them and not telling them you're in a competition? Come, give
And
us your
have
best.
fun.
Then let's have fun. So I started doing that with the people that I was with, and then we were doing video clips and all that and all that. Well, we were not exposed to internet that much. And we didn't go anywhere.
We see you. We see you. Don't worry.
It didn't go anywhere far. I didn't go anywhere further than where we were.
Okay.
But I left it. But I had everything like properly written. I'm a guy who likes writing my things down. I put my visions on the book, and so that I go back to it and all that. So I was reminded in the moment when he said, "You have something." I'm like, I honestly have it, but is it worth doing it now? Then I went into my book, I saw it. I'm like, but I can still do it now. So then I went into, because now I've got a couple of artists that I'm connected with, obviously better than back then. Some are actually doing well. I just started saying to them, I want to do this with you. They're like, just give me a shout when you want us to do it. Just give me a shout. I'll pop into the studio. I'm going to come in. So I'll tell you that as it is right now, the next 3 months, I'm booked. I have guests.
Like, tell me about it, Maxie. Tell
me.
The
show. I mean,
it's too much. Sometimes you can't even keep up. Even when I get people say, Amanda, I want to come for an interview. I'm thinking, okay, hold on, because I have 3 people right now waiting for an interview. I even think to say I need to stop for a little bit, but then stop for who? Because guess what? I love talking to you. I love talking to guests. I love knowing their journey, and I love them sharing their journey with the rest of the world, because you never know who you're encouraging right now. Imagine right now we're talking about Habakkuk 2 verse 2 right there, right? That you have to write it on a plain piece of paper. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to have the dictionary vocabulary. It just has to be plain. And then how many years later? Not even too long. It's like, come on now, bring it here. And it is so, oh my gosh, I am getting goosebumps.
Imagine.
Like, God is just crazy.
I was just brought down to my knees in the moment. I'm like, God. I just started typing and then texting my friends, just to officialize it. This is what we want to do. And most of them are saying, tell us what to do. Just tell me what you want me to do for you now. Tell me how I get to do this thing. I want this exposure. I want this thing. I want this thing. I want to work with you. I want to do this. And then I also got to realize that this is opening up a certain side of me that I didn't know. I've got a couple of artists that I want to do collaborations with. And most of them, culturally, it's in our nature, people from Zim, especially people from Zim.
To be what?
We are doing something, we feel like we're in a competition.
Hallelujah.
It just feels like that, of which it's wrong.
Amen.
Right? So the moment you break into talking to somebody, they actually realize you are there for them. And then they start opening up. So now that I'm talking to most of the people that I myself personally thought that I could never talk to, and then they're like, but we should do something, me and you. But we should do, like, you asking me to do something with you. I mean, I look up to you, and then you saying that. So I'm beginning to realize that things that we think are just not possible, they are.
They are indeed possible.
It just takes us to make them move,
right,
reach for it, and then it will happen.
Right. Oh my gosh. I am so super proud of you, and even just the moves that you're taking, and just being bold in your journey, because it's all about taking the jump, really. And if you don't take that jump, you won't go anywhere. So if anything, musically, are there any local musical artists that you look up to, since you've already mentioned you've been mentioning with somebody that I look up to, somebody that I look up to. Which of your local music, when I mean local, I mean Zimbabwean musical artists that you look up to and that inspire you?
There's a lot. My library is huge. But
okay, so just that one person
I
wow.
I could never. It's impossible for anybody who plays acoustic in Zimbabwe to not talk about the Tada Tuguts. That's just impossible.
Yes, Dakotera. Yes.
It's just impossible. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about him and then put him up there, and then we talk about everybody else. Okay.
And then now we can talk about the Amandas.
but we give respect, we honor it is Junior. That's great is great. I mean,
right.
I could never get tired of listening to him. It always feels like music is fresh new. There's so much about him that we could learn even now after he is gone. May so rest in peace. Continue rest in peace. I mean, it's just amazing. He left the legacy.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what you're just saying right now. I never used to be able to understand his music because I was still young, and also growing up in I don't know, like I grew up in I can't say maybe new age, like an urban grooves type of era, right? And to me, Anatuku was more of and stuff like that. But when you get older, you get to listen to the words. Like I played a song before you got on air. Your color is black, you better embrace it. You will never change your color, even if you try and bleach. That will never change your actual color. And there's another one, and you're thinking, you have to understand. You have to get deeper to understand his music. And you're like, no wonder why he was a legend internationally, not just local.
It's amazing. And now then, getting to get a chance to meet him personally when I was in Zim, you learn it. And then when I came to South Africa, I was privileged that I got closer with Willem Tide. Willem Tide is in the same era with them.
Yes.
Same age, same time, same music when they were doing it.
Yes.
And I mean, man, I wish this generation, we could take a moment to sit down and listen to them.
Yeah.
There's a reason why their music is still playing now. And the reason why the music we're making now is only making noise for 6 months,
and then done. Point.
There's a reason why. I get to sit down with them. I get to go to him. I call him at times, not to ask him for a song, but just to listen to him talk. Wow. I go to him at times just to watch him do what he does. There is a whole lot of difference between us and them. We are the first generation. We're too quick. We just want to rush this, do that. I remember when we were doing Chido with him, and then he was like, come through. I want to do a song with you. Funny story. I went there. I'm like, okay, so how are we gonna do it? He's like, this is how we're gonna do it. You're gonna start playing and then give me the songs you want to do. So me, I'm like, no. Okay. I want this vibe, to bring this vibe of a new generation with older generation. I started playing my first song, like now. Played the second song.
No. Okay, by then hadn't you been discouraged?
No. From him. I mean, now that I know, I think I met him at the right time. If I met him earlier on, I was gonna be disappointed. I was gonna be like, oh my word, how can you say no to the song and I've been preparing it for ages? But I had been crushed and grilled before, so now I knew that okay, this means something good.
Right.
And then I started playing that song, the Chido song. Yeah. I switched. I played 2 chords. I didn't even, before I even started singing, he said, that's the song.
Wow.
Right there. That's the song we're going to do. That's the song. That's my song. And he calls it his song. Then we started playing and then we started playing. the lyrics that was coming out of his mouth, I was like, what? I mean, deep. I mean, the deep Shona lyrics that he goes down deep. His voice, the way he just approaches the music as you're doing it. I was like, God, this is the reason why Gary Tight is good. Now I know. I mean,
right.
He is just. I started appreciating the old age musicians. So now, even here locally, I approach them. I'm not afraid of approaching them. I just, if I get a chance to, I do get there. Most of my guitar, she's always there with me. And we get there, we get there, we do what we have to do, we learn, and then we take what we can take, and that's it. So I'm more inclined to the older generation. And at the same time, I'm in love with our generation.
Absolutely.
I just believe that the gap that has been created can still be
put together.
Still there. We don't need to really separate ourselves like that, because we're running away from who we are, which is the reason why we're beginning to sound like Americans, sound like Nigerians, sound like everybody else.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, because today I was actually having a discussion with somebody, and they were saying, oh yeah, my son is a musician, but I just don't like what he sings. And to me, I'm thinking, why aren't you supporting your son? But then he ended up saying it's because he's not being original. He's trying to be like, he's trying to be like an American. He's trying to, instead of just embracing. And it does make sense, because did Tuku need to sound American? No. Does Untitled need to sound American? No. Thomas Mapfumo, no. But they're still making waves. Japreza with Jason Derulo, with Mafiki Zolo, with help me understand.
And it's funny, we don't learn from that. Look at the most taught artists in them. Look at them. Just go in the history, and that's the thing with us. We don't want to do research. We
Absolutely.
don't want.
Well, microwave life, man. Microwave life.
Yeah. We just want to jump into the wave and then do what's happening. But when you research, you get to look at the most taught artists, like the way the meter playing, the guitar playing, and all of them were playing our cultural sound, our sound, right? Till today, Bell is out there, right? He's out there. He's doing the most in the jazz genre. And then you look at our Edith Otonga, look at the Andy Browns, the Amara Browns. When you listen to Amara Brown, even when she sounds, people think she sounds American. I always say this to them. She is just a pimped up version of our culture. Amara does us in a better way.
Period.
Look at Tammy. Listen to Tammy when she does what she does.
Wow. I mean, I like your examples. I love them.
It's just amazing, man. Being true, being us is just it's the way to go. So the moment you want to sound like somebody else, you're never gonna make it. I promise you, you're not. You're gonna make 50,000 views because people are looking at somebody who sounds like somebody, but then it ends there.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Well, I love this conversation. And, we speak about, we've actually once had discussions with one of our former presenters who used to be with us, where he was saying, look for your identity. Who are you? Talking about identity more than anything. And it also comes down to music. It doesn't necessarily mean as Amanda as an individual, Maxie as an individual, but then, as a people, right? Music, you name it, whatever it is that we do. But as we run out of time, I have a couple of quick questions that do not need long answers. And the one of them is, what has been the most memorable moment about your career so far? Seeing that, everything is just, this is where we're at right now. We're no longer here. We're no longer here. We're just going that way now.
The playlist
and it's going to continue going that way.
The most memorable moment, I'll pick one, right? I'm just going to pick one.
Right.
When I was in Starbread, the way I walked off the stage, the day I lost it. I couldn't play a song. I was numb on stage.
What?
Not because, I'm telling you, I was numb on stage, and Banim Pario was so disappointed in me. I was just numb. And then I went off stage.
I can imagine you numb, yo.
Walked off, didn't do anything. And then there were chalets back there where they enter the chalet, and then I just lied on my back with the guitar on my chest.
Yeah.
Then Trust, the guy who won that season, came to me. We were so close, and till today we're close. He's like, "What's wrong?" Then I said to him, "I'm done." Then he said, "You're done with what?" I said, "I've learned all I could learn from this show. I'm done."
Wow.
I didn't know what it meant. I now know now.
Do you mind sharing with us? Because already that sounds powerful, because it's one thing realizing something, like we live in a world where everybody wants to be seen, wants to be heard, wants to be famous, right? But for you to stop and say, nope, I'm done. I'm learning. I've learned. What is it that you learned? Those are some of the secrets that we need to be telling, the listeners, everybody, you need to realize some of these things.
So remember, I'd never been in the studio back then. I'd never been around artists back then. Like, I was just in the church. I was used to singing in the church, and all that. Now, being around a crowd of talented kids, I mean, it was amazing. I watched how they do it. I watched how they were doing it. I watched how they were hungry for the title, hungry for an opportunity.
I love that.
The amount of energy they were putting in. I mean, early in the morning around 5 a.m., I could hear, like, there were dangerous vocalists there. You'd hear them sounding like doing vocal warm-ups.
Right.
And I don't even do half of what they're doing, but I'm here in the competition. I would hear them scaling on their guitars, playing scales like, yeah. And I just say to him, I've learned it all. I've seen, I'm going to go home and do my homework. I've got a lot to learn. I've got a lot to do. So that alone, I learned a lot from the people that I was with, the new kids that were there. Of course, I learned from the mentors that they gave us at the time. Brian Leonia, and I think with Willis Watafi, everyone came through. With Stana came through.
Oh, Willis is amazing.
Yeah, we had amazing mentors at that moment. I learned a lot from them, and I remember Stana asking me that, how much is a guitar? Then I said to him, he said, okay, before I answer that, is it expensive? Then I said to him, it depends with what you do. Me as a student, it's expensive for me. Then he says, and then tell me about how it comes, what it takes for you to be able to play like that. Then I explained to me, you knowing that you can play like that, it's your key to the world. That's all you need.
Hey, Dada Diva. Hey, Dada Diva. And Amanama breaks, that's one thing I like about him. He has no filter. Right? Wow.
He just went straight in. And then he said to me that I was playing, it was an audition when he said that. You would stop you when you're playing and then drop bombs when you're playing right there. You're auditioning, and then he gives you your advice right there and there. Because he knows you might never get a chance to talk to you face to face again. That's the opportunity he has to talk to you. And that's the only opportunity you have to talk to him without paying, without really hunting you. So he then said to me, if you do not win this competition, I'm speaking to me. If you don't win this competition, I'm telling you this, that's your key. You're holding your key right there. I've listened to everybody else playing, but you right there, that's your key. Take it.
Hey, guys, y'all need to pay attention. You need to pay attention to everything that happens in your life, really, especially when times your hunch can tell you, Guti, pause. This is the moment for you to pause, draw back, or keep moving. And this is so powerful for you to say, Guti, I didn't know what it meant then, but you just did it. And now you understand what it means. And even for you to say, you know what, I am going to jump, or I am going to let it go. All those are so powerful bombs, man. Like, Guys, if you haven't been listening to the gems that have been being thrown here by Mr. Maxie, please do catch up with us with this interview on our YouTube channel as we're about to round up and conclude our interview. Would like to know what is your favorite way to unwind after a very hard day?
Oh, that doesn't have to do with my guitar. So I love animals.
Like what?
I love animals. I mean, I love nature.
Okay, why is it I feel like you were listening to my conversations today? Why?
Really? No.
I am telling you. Earlier on, we were talking about originality.
We connected.
I think we're connected. And now, and it's so funny today, we're talking about how humans are intelligent. I was saying humans are intelligent because we know when to draw the line and all that jazz when it comes to animals. Hence the reason why we give them power and dominion over everything. And so the person that I was talking to, they were saying, no, but then how can you say you're intelligent when you're caging an animal, when you're depriving them from their natural way of living? When, hey, they got no challenge. Hey, so, you know what? As much as I may like a pet, or I would love to have a cat as a pet, but then why would you lock it down in the house? Like, why would you? Because it's not. Hey, they got when you hear people speak, you're like, oh, okay, I'm learning. But so how? So are you studying anything to do with animals, veteran, or whatever they call it, my vets?
My life is funny. Here comes the funny part.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, where I stay, I stay in a place where there are a lot of farms, animal farms.
I love that. I want that. Yeah.
It's open space. So, like right now, when I'm going to walk through the studio, the first thing I see is springboks. And
wow.
There are springboks west. I think there are about 10 springboks here. And then the other side, the horses. So my 9 to 5. I
like that. I like hearing my 9 to 5, meaning that you're a hustler. Come on now. Yeah.
My 9 to 5 is something that has to do with the vet. I train horses. Yeah.
No, Max, I think you know what? No, I need to come and visit you. I love horses. I want to own horses. Like, no. What do you mean you train horses?
You're welcome. Come. I will. Yeah. Well, I train horses. I do the nutrition. Yeah. So that's what I do. That's my 9 to 5. So I'm always around them. I never thought I would come to do this. Now, what I'm studying is way different from what I'm doing. You would laugh if I tell you what I'm studying.
Please do tell me. I hope it has something to do with music at least. Okay.
Nah. And somebody was saying to me, do you know that you're just studying this so that you become a professional, so that you add this onto your
resume?
Your career is already taking you somewhere different from that. I mean,
please tell me what you study.
Engineering student.
What?
I'm an engineering student. Yeah.
My guy. Blue collar.
I'm an engineering student. Yeah. So look at it. 9 to 5, it's horses. My side hustle, music.
Studying engineering.
I'm studying engineering.
But okay, so let me break it down to those who think, oh yeah, your career is already right. I'm gonna break it down to you. I'm hoping and guessing that you already figured it out as well. You do realize that God gives us all the resources that we need to get to where we're supposed to go. And maybe engineering is supposed to be your resource to get to where you're supposed to go, because engineering is not a cheap one when it comes to paying you. It's not a cheap one. And you probably need that to propel you to the next level. Think about it. Anyway, that's my jam. So, just to say goodbye to our people, we run out of time. If you want to catch up with us, please do inbox Maxie. He's such an amazing, phenomenal, free, open, humble young gentleman based in SA. So please do go Instagram him on Instagram, follow him, support him, and please do share all your social platforms to our listeners, as well as your musical platforms where they can stream your music and all that jazz.
So everywhere you go, my name is Maxie, Maxie. You find me there, or you use the brand name Set Apart. Just type in Maxie Set Apart. You'll find me everywhere. Yeah, and on my Facebook, Maxie Set Apart. Every Set Apart, Maxie Set Apart. I'm waiting for you. Come, let's have conversations. Let's talk about this journey. And yeah.
And how best can they listen to you on your new show?
Okay. Wow, you are actually marketing me, girl.
No, because I need to tune in too.
The show is called Lights On, Platinum FM online, and then on my Facebook page, I'm actually doing the same thing. Like last night, I had an interview with somebody, so it's Lights On, Platinum FM. But just follow me. The details are on my social media pages everywhere else. I'm there. Yeah. Let's talk about this thing. Let's talk about
everything. Let's encourage each other. Let's motivate each other. Am I good? Am I a good rapper? I don't know. But anyway.
Wow. I think the next time we're gonna have the tables we have turned, you're gonna be on the other side.
You tell me about it. Thank you so much, Maxie. It was such a pleasure and an honor to learn from you as well. As much as you also, I've learned that you're a student of life. You're a student of a whole lot of things. You're a student of your trade as well, which is music. And it's so phenomenal. It's encouraging. It's motivating, really. And and trying to think, you know what, sometimes we ignore all these signals that we get from God. We ignore all these signs and whatever. And sometimes what we do, we may not even understand it. But then the word says, lean not on your own understanding, but trust God with all your heart and wherever you go, right? So look at what you just did, letting go and trusting him, and just, you know, I want you to lead the way. Now you've become the number one 3 times on After 5 Radio, and you get to go on Trace, and now you have your own show. What else do we need to wait for now? Like really. Corona ngaingopera isitongoya to support at red carpet tichingotauris.
That's good right there.
That is so awesome. It was such a pleasure and an honor to hang out with you.
Oh, God.
No, that is so, it is so amazing. Thank you so much for making time and starting out the day with hanging out with you.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed this as well. I mean, let's do this again.
Definitely. I like that, because guess what? With a lot of things that are opening up, we need to be catching up, you know, every time. But dude, where are we right now? Where are we going, and what's next?
Yeah.
And no, that is so awesome. But too bad for technology, or too bad for my age, you know, because I literally forgot how to turn on the mic. Unfortunately, I can't wait to run out.
I'm gonna go and leave you to your thing. I love you, and then
I love you too, Maxie. And please do not forget to vote for Maxie yet again. It is already up there for voting. Tomorrow it is the Top 10 Gospel Chat Show. Let's see who does Johnny. Hansi achadzoka ere pa number 1, because Hansi na faraika to based in Aussie with the song Anointed. Hansi kana iyo song yacho munzwi woyere kuti title ye song iri kuti andiendi. So for sure.
Speaking of that, there is that guy who was number 3.
Yeah. Which one?
I think he's your friend.
Which Ubongani Mshavi?
We need to talk.
That's my best friend right there. Ubongani. That's my honey.
Please do the match.
Are you serious? You want to?
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. Okay, definitely. I will link you up with Bongani. I would definitely link you up with Bongani. Nasi.
Please do the magic.
Awesome.
I thought something.
Awesome. I will catch up with you actually after the show, and then I will link you guys up. But anyway, thank you so much, my brother. I will catch up with you later, and it was such a pleasure and an honor just hanging out with you. And my baba actually I paid it because it's also attention go spark. You know, it's annoying, you know.
Let me just disappear.